Welcome to this week's Bible story. And again, we're going to hear about Abram. And in this story, we hear that God changes Abram's name. So listen for that. And this is another story from Genesis. It comes in multiple chapters and verses. So begin with chapter 17, verses 1 through 7, and verses 15 and 16. And then turn to chapter 18, verses 1 through 15, and chapter 21, verses 1 through 7. And this is the story of Abraham and Sarah's visitors from the Spark Story Bible from Spark House Publishing. When Abram was 99 years old, he and his wife Sarai were still waiting for God's promises of a huge family to come true. Abram was getting frustrated. He asked God, "What are you waiting for?" And God spoke to Abram, "I will keep my promise and I will change your names. Instead of Abram, your name will be Abraham. Instead of Sarai, your wife will be Sarah." Abraham was afraid of what God said. He thought he was too old to become a father of so many people, and his wife was too old to have children. He fell on his face and peeked up with one eye. Could God really make such a thing happen? Later, as Abraham was sitting by the tent, he saw three strangers walking towards him. Abraham squinted into the sun and wondered who would be visiting him on such a hot day. "Hi," Abraham said when they arrived. "You must be tired from traveling. Would you like to sit down and rest and have some food?" Quickly, Abraham asked Sarah to make some bread. He ordered his servant to prepare some meat, and Sarah stood hiding in the tent listening to the visitors. Who were they? Why had they come to her house? And why were they talking about her? She leaned in a little closer. "Your wife Sarah will have a son," the visitors told Abraham. Sarah started laughing. Didn't they know that she was too old to have a child? Visitors looked up. "Why is Sarah laughing?" they asked. "Doesn't she believe God's promise will happen?" God's promise to Abraham did happen. Sarah had a baby and named him Isaac, which means laughter. Abraham and Sarah's family grew and grew and grew, and God blessed each generation with laughter and happiness. So in this story, we see that God's promise has come true. So I want you to remember that when you make a promise to a friend or family member, be sure to keep it. And also be sure to have some laughter and happiness this week.